Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sarah Pavan.
And I'm Adam.
And today we are watching Season 1, Episode 23 of Demon Slayer called Hashira Meeting.
I mean, I can't say I'm surprised by the fact that the Hashira were divided or mostly against having a demon in their presence, because their whole life is hunting demons and nobody has any context to the situation. I think it's interesting that the people who do are on Nezuko and Tenjiro's side. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I'm curious. Go ahead.
What Nezuko's gonna do to this meanie.
Yeah, I think I can get behind them being unsure about the situation, but he's just being cruel, I feel like.
Yeah, not a fan of that response. I did love getting to meet all 9 Hashira
and we have some
the
personalities.
Master.
Yes.
We've got some personalities, for sure. Do you know which one I'm thinking
The
of?
flamboyant one.
Yes! I have lots of questions about him and why he says that word all the time.
And I wonder if there's like a different word in Japanese where that's like the closest translation, but it's not quite the translation.
Yeah, this was interesting. The master, like what happened to him, his, I'm assuming, children that are guiding him around, so there's that piece. There's the 9 Hashira who are all representing kind of like a different
sect almost?
Yeah, element or species or whatever. There's just a lot, and we said this before, even though that was like a transitionary episode, it was still excellent.
And it was tense.
Yes. The headbutt that Tanjiro delivered was everything I needed.
Agreed.
So I want to see what her response is to being stabbed through this box countless times.
Yeah. I think the next couple episodes will be interesting to see how everything's going to play out. Does this divide the team? Do they go their separate ways? Like, how is this sorted out?
I'm excited.
Me too.
So let's go right now, episode 23 of Demon Slayer.
Unnecessary. Cool I mean, this kind of is the ultimate test. I'd be pissed too if I were her.
Dude, she's drooling so hard.
Iguro-san, 強く押さえすぎです。少し緩めてください。動こうとするから押さえているだけだが。かまどくん、肺を圧迫されている状態で呼吸を使うと血管が破裂しますよ。血管が破裂？いいな。響き派手で。よし行け、破裂しろ。かわいそうに。なんと弱く哀れな子供。
This guy, like, thinks everybody's pathetic and pitiful.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Let's go. 妹だ。俺の妹なんだ。禰豆子は違うんだ。どうして今そうなったかわからないけど。
She's still hanging on to her memories. That was something I was thinking about. Was she's in the hideout with the wisteria.
Oh. And her lessons from Oroku Daki.
人は守り、助ける者。傷つけない。絶対に傷つけない。
どうしたのかな。
鬼の女の子はそっぽ向きました。品津川様に3度刺されていましたが、目の前に血まみれの腕を突き出されても我慢して噛まなかったです。
ではこれで禰豆子が人を襲わないことの証明ができたね。
何のつもりだ富岡。
炭治郎、それでもまだ禰豆子のことを快く思わない者もいるだろう。
True story.
証明しなければならない。これから炭治郎と禰豆子が鬼殺隊として戦えること。
Nezuko's gonna become an honorary demon slayer?
なんだろうこの感じ。
Gratitude.
ふわふわする。声。こ
Relief.
の人の声のせいで頭がふわふわするのか。
十二鬼月を倒しておいで。そうしたらみんなに認められる。
Oh.
炭治郎の言葉の重みが変わってくる。
I feel like he needs years of training to do
Yeah,
俺
whoa.
は俺と禰豆子は鬼物寺無惨を倒します。俺
it.
と
That's
禰
a
豆子が
bold
必ず
proclamation.
悲しみの連鎖を断ち切る刃を振る。
Oh, wow.
今の炭治郎にはできないから、まず十二鬼月を
Let's
一人
keep dreaming big, though.
はい。
ダメよ、笑ったら。ダメダメダメ。
鬼殺隊の柱たちは当然抜きんでた才能がある。血を吐くような鍛錬で自らを叩き上げて視線をくぐり、十二鬼月をも倒している。
いい心がけだ。
だからこそ柱は尊敬され優遇されるんだよ。炭治郎も口の利き方には気をつけるように。
Fair.
はい。
Yeah.
それから実美、おばない、
You're on probation.
あまり下の子に意地悪をしないこと。
御意。
Oh, baby, baby, baby.
I want to know what your thoughts are.
I have a couple logistical questions. First of all, he said the Hashira have defeated 12 Kazuki. How many of the 12 Kazuki have been defeated?
I would imagine they get replaced.
Okay, that was part B.
Yeah.
So A, how many have been defeated? And B, do they get replaced after they die? So are there always 12 around?
My assumption would be like it's like a hierarchy. So he can promote them by giving them more blood. Like for whatever reason he's chosen 12 as his lieutenants or whatever. So I would imagine that they're constantly recycling as they die.
If it's not a spoiler, let me know. If it is, I'll keep guessing. I appreciate Tanjiro's enthusiasm.
He always has it.
And I feel really bad that the Hashira were kind of laughing at him. he didn't mean it out of disrespect. And like the way that they were laughing, I kind of felt bad for him. But it's just kind of like you don't even know what you don't know.
Well, and that's exactly it, right? It's all about perspective. Now, mind you, he should kind of have gotten a feel after the last mission when he couldn't get his sword through one of them. Like, I think he was caught up in the moment.
No, yeah.
In terms of doing that, but yeah, I mean, you just don't know.
Great job, Nezuko. And I love that she is drawing on her family memories to keep her grounded into her lessons that she, you know, gathered from Orokodaki.
Yeah. Part of me is curious though, like, she didn't attack anybody even before the Orokodaki lessons. Like how
she was trying to though.
Yeah, I'm curious, like, is it all his input? Is there some of her own self-control? Is the bond? Like, I'm curious what the makeup of that willpower is. If it's all compulsion or if it's part of it is internal. That's something I've been curious about. I wonder if we'll get any answers.
Yeah, because she was trying to come after Tanjiro pretty hard at the beginning.
Yeah.
When she first turned. So I think, I mean, once she got that muzzle put on her, it like made things easier. But I think Orokodaki played a big role. I also, yes, your comment of how did she get into the mansion when it's surrounded by wisteria?
Yeah. Wow.
Is that like,
yeah,
hello?
I'm wondering what the like, is it like, don't go here because it feels uncomfortable? Is it like a straight hard shield?
Or she was like being carried in the box, so it's like whatever. Like
Yeah.
she wasn't as like repelled. Yeah.
I'm curious, like, how that works.
That was a great question, because, like, that's fair.
Find it.
ギョイ炭治郎の話はこれで終わり下がっていいよ
でしたらかまどくんは私の屋敷でお預かりいたしましょう
え
はい連れて行ってください
Nezuko,
前失礼しますおお
The Kakushi, the cleanup crew, remember?
This will be interesting now.
では集合会議を始め
ちょっと待ってくださいその傷だらけの人に頭突きさせてもらいたいです絶対に黙っとけ
Didn't he learn that, like, the respect piece?
絶対に頭突きなら対立違反にならないはず黙っておとなしくしなさい黙ってくれおせ
You're supposed to be respectful.
親方様のお話を遮ったらダメだよ。
He's
申し訳ございません。申し訳ございません。親方様。時藤
that's
様。
Tanjiro's
申し訳ございません。
Yeah.
申し訳ございませんでした。この者一郎君。やっぱり男の子ね。かっこいいわ。早く下がって。はい。
炭治郎玉代さんによろしく
He's sending her to Miss Tamayo?
さっき玉代さんの名前が。あんたもう喋んないで。あんたのせいで怒られたでしょ。殺すかと思ったわ。柱すごい怖いんだよ。呼べよ。さしろ。
Yeah, okay, that was his fault.
yeah.
許され。
I'm fair.
謝れ。謝れよ。謝れ。
Wait, where is Zenitsu and Inosuke?
I don't know, but I want to see the Hashira business. I want to know what's going on.
Yeah, we need the details.
I want his backstory. I want the master's
We're
backstory
gonna get it
ごめんくだ
eventually.
さいませ
as we change scenes.
ごめんくださいませごめん
全然誰も出てこね
庭の方回ってみましょう
Is she dead? No.
えわお前自分で歩けよな
すみません。本当もう体中痛くて。本部も広かったけど、 ここも立派なお屋敷だな。
That's her own house.
そうい
Lady
えば
Kosho?
Yeah.
蝶屋敷って言ってたっけ。
あ、いる。人いる。
Oh, because she said take them to my house.
Duh. そうだ、つぐ子の方だ。お名前は
つぐ子。
つゆりかなお様だ。
最終選別の時の子だ。
Yep.
お前、ゆうべかなお様に踏んづけられたことを忘れてんな。つぐ子ってのは柱が育てる大使だよ。相当才能があって優秀じゃないと選ばれない。女の子なのにすげえよな。
That's not a fair comment.
Yeah, I'm sorry, what?
失礼いたします、つゆり様。胡蝶様の申し付けにより参りました。お屋敷に上がってもよろしいですか。
No.
よろしい。よろしいですかね。どなたですか。胡蝶様に。隠しの方ですか。怪我人ですね。こちらへどうぞ。あ、はい。
早い。
Is she going through a year of silence training?
Or maybe she's the subordinate to that other girl.
I don't think so. She's the
5
trainee.
回5回飲むの1日に。3ヶ月間飲み続けるのこの薬。これ飲んだら飯食えないよ。すげえ苦いんだけど辛いんだけど。っていうか薬飲むだけで俺の腕と足治るわけ。本当ね、本当に治るわけ。どうやって治るわけ。ちゃんと説明してほしいわけ。ちゃんと説明して。もっと説明して。
まだ騒いでるの、あの人。
どうなるのねえ、俺の腕と足どうなるのねえ、飲み損ねたらどうなるの。スイーツ。
静かになさってください。説明は何度もしましたでしょ。いい加減にしないと縛りますからね。まったく、もう。
全員大丈夫か。怪我したのか。山に
I
入っ
almost
てき
got
てくれ
turned
たんだ
into
な。
a spider, okay?
炭治郎。炭治郎、聞いてくれよ。臭い雲に刺されるし、毒ですごい痛かったんだよ。さっきからあの女の子にガミガミ怒られるし、最悪だよ。
ちょっと離れろよ。俺関係ない。
Get me as far away from here as possible.
なんかちっちゃくないか。雲になりかけたからさ。俺今すごい手足が短いの。そうなのか。伊之助は
Oh,
村田さんは
man.
見なかったか。村田って人は知らんけど、伊之助なら隣にいるよ。あ、本当だ。思いっき
They
り
all
い
got
た。
pummeled.
気づかなかった。伊之助、無事でよかった。
Oh, that was hard to watch.
Yeah, it was. I also think it's hilarious his legs and arms are
助け
short.
に行けなくて。
いいよ、気にしないで。
声が伊之助か。なんか喉潰れてるらしいよ。
Yeah, his windpipe smashed.
詳しいことよくわかんないけど、首をこうガッとやられたらしくて、それで最後自分で大声出したのがとどめだったみたいで、喉がえらいことに落ち込んでんのかすごく丸くなっててめちゃくちゃ面白いんだよな。なんで急にそんな気持ち悪い笑い方するんだ。どうした。
ごめんね、弱くて。
He's gonna have a tough time coming back.
頑張れ伊之助、落ち込むなんてらしくないぞ。お前はよくやったって。すげえよ。生きててくれて俺は嬉しいんだ。ああ、 俺朝の薬飲んだっけ？飲んでるとこ見た？誰か見た？誰か見た？
Okay, I need a break from the screaming. It's too much.
Oh man.
Oh my gosh, there was a few episodes there that I really loved Zenitsu and everything, but like that was like 3 minutes straight of just screaming. I can't.
I feel like you got used to it for a little bit, and then we had a break, and then it was just jarring again when you heard it nonstop.
Yeah, okay. Let me recover.
Earplugs.
So Lady Kosho was like, take them to my house, and then the master said, say hi to Miss Tamayo for me.
Yeah.
So, what?
Okay, am I wrong in thinking Miss Tamayo was the demon from earlier that helped them?
No, that is her.
Okay, that's what I thought.
The doctor demon.
But I think, so was that like a, I know you're friends with her, I know you know her, is he expecting them to run into each other, or was that like a, just so you know I know?
I don't know, because also, I feel like Miss Tamayo goes against everything
I agree.
that the Hashira are about too.
But do you think that was a nod to his quest of trying to cure Nezuko?
I don't know. And also, they were saying that the word that starts with a T, I forget the term, is someone who is trained by a Hashira, but Urokodaki's a retired Hashira. Does that not count?
No, I don't think so. I think it's an active, like, it's like taking an apprentice.
And what are the requirements for being able to retire? The questions keep piling up here.
I wonder if you either age out or hit a quota, or somebody comes to replace you. That's an interesting question, actually. And I wonder, do you think there could be more than one Hashira of the same type?
Or is she the final selection girl next in line to be an insect Hashira if Lady Kosho dies?
Yeah.
And Tanjiro didn't give a choice of who he was trained by. He was discovered by Giyu, who sent him to Urokodaki. Why didn't Giyu want to train him? Is it because he wasn't talented enough? Was the final selection girl identified early by Lady Kosho and trained by her before sent to the final selection? Or did the Corps see how strong the girl was at final selection and then assign her to Lady Kosho to finish her training? Like,
or maybe she's not strong enough to cut through a demon either, and that was her only path.
But they said only the best, only the most skilled are trained by Hashira.
True. I bet you the Hashira's pick.
This is so interesting.
It's a really, outside of like the story, like how it's all set up and like how the Demon Corps works is very interesting.
So this girl from Final Selection is like top.
Yeah, she's gotta be legit. Tanjiro's just chilling.
He's worried about his friends.
You sleep like that.
Oh, his cousin.
He's in his happy place now.
Close those blinds.
これで大丈夫だ。この部屋は禰豆子が使ってくれていいって。ナタグモ山ではだいぶ痛めつけられちゃった。かなり痛い。正直相当痛い。禰豆子、山では俺を守ってくれてありがとう。禰豆子だけじゃなくて鱗滝さんも富岡さんも俺たちのために命を懸けていてくれただなんて。みんなの世話になりっぱなして俺もっと強くならなきゃ。
I thought he was gonna say thank them.
今日だって親方様に禰豆子と俺の命助けてもらったようなものだからな。 あの人の声、不思議な高揚感だったんだ。話を聞いていると頭がふわふわした。どういう人なんだろう。
You think he's related to Muzan?
His brother? She couldn't even leave the box, she was so tired.
She's stabbed 3 times by
そう
that.
か。お前寝不足だもんな。痛いし
Fell
辛
out
い
of
け
the
ど
box and passed out.
まだまだ頑張らなきゃ。だってさ、
Had those days.
いつか兄ちゃんは大人になる。そしてじいちゃんになって死んじゃって、そしたら鬼の禰豆子は一人ぼっちになっちゃう。それじゃあ寂しいよな、禰豆子。兄ちゃんが必ず人間に戻してやるからな。
皆の報告にあるように、鬼の被害はこれまで以上に増えている。人々の暮らしがかつてなく脅かされつつあるということだね。鬼殺隊員も増やさなければならないが、皆の意見を。
今回のナタグモ山ではっきりした。大使の質が信じられないほど落ちている。ほとんど使えない。まず育ての目が節穴だ。使えるやつか使えないやつかくらいは分かりそうなもんだろう。
昼間のガキはなかなか使えそうだがな。死なず側に派手な一撃を入れていたし、見込みがある。
人が増えれば増えるほど制御統一は難しくなっていくものです。今は随分時代も様変わりしていますし。
愛する者を惨殺され入隊した者、代々鬼狩りをしている優れた血統の者以外にそれらの者たちと並ぶ、もしくはそれ以上の覚悟と気迫で結果を出すことを求めるのは残酷だ。
それにしてもあの少年は入隊後間もなく12気づきと遭遇しているとは、引く力が強いように感じる。なかなか相まみえる機会のない我らからしても羨ましいことだ。
そうだね。しかしこれだけ加減の碁が大きく動いたということは、ナタグモ山近辺に無残はいないのだろうね。浅草もそうだが、隠したいものがあると無残は騒ぎを起こして巧妙に私たちの目をそらすから、なんとももどかしいね。しかし鬼どもは今ものうのうと人を食い、力をつけ生きながらえている。死んでいった者たちのためにも我々がやることは一つ。今ここにいる柱は戦国の時代始まりの呼吸の剣士以来の精鋭たちが揃ったと私は思っている。
That's a pretty big compliment.
宇髄天元、煉獄杏寿郎、胡蝶忍、甘露寺光、時藤無一郎、姫島行明、品津川実美、井黒尾花井、富岡義勇。私の子供たち皆の活躍を期待している。
Still don't remember all those names yet.
We're gonna have sect nicknames, so I'm gonna
鬼
roll
物
with this
寺
one.
無惨、何としてもお前を倒す。お前は必ず私たちが。
I feel like we're on the cusp of like a new set of missions, and I'm curious to see, like, are the Hashira gonna take a more front and center role? Like, is Tanjiro gonna travel with some of them? Are we gonna see, or is that kind of just like, hey, here's how the core works, go and do your thing, and like, we'll see them again at the next 6-month meeting?
I also found it interesting that the guy was like, oh, Tanjiro's so lucky that he got to encounter one of the 12 Kazuki. We never get that chance. Dude, he was sent there by the crow. So, like, either the crows just, like, know where there's, like, conflict happening and just dispatches whoever's nearby, or, like, you would think... Would the crows have no idea? Like, is it just random assignments?
Yeah, I don't think they knew it was going to be a 12. I think they sent them there, and then reinforcements were called because they couldn't handle the situation.
Well, it's crazy, though, because, like, Rui was lower 5. So there's only one Kazuki that's weaker than him.
Yeah.
Which is, like, scary because he was quite impressive.
Yeah, but you have to think, Gyu killed him, like, with 0 effort.
That's true. I guess, yeah.
I would be curious to see, like, a highest level demon versus highest level Hashira. Like, what does that look like? But...
Interesting call by you that the master is somehow tied to Kibutsu Jimuzan.
I just have a feeling. My spidey senses were tingling.
That's very interesting. I keep going back to why did he bring up Lady Tamayo? Maybe it's one of these times where you guys are like, you're fixating on something that you don't need to be.
No.
That could be the case.
That was intentional. It was intentional. But I think we'll figure all of that out.
So now we have 4 of the 5 demon slayers of the same rank that were all part of the same final selection. The only one that's missing is Messy Face Kid.
True.
So there were 5 graduates, and we have 4 of them like in the same place right now.
Do you think he made it, or did Messy Face?
No, Messy Face is somewhere, but I find it interesting that they're like finding their way to each other.
Yeah.
Tanjiro's speech about like, I'm gonna turn old and then I'm gonna die. Here's a wild prediction. What if eventually, instead of Nezuko becoming a human again, Tanjiro becomes a demon to be with Nezuko forever?
That never crossed my mind, but interesting.
Just a wild take to end off this episode, to have all of you guys rolling your eyes at me like, ugh, here we go again.
I mean, but yet again, we watch an episode and end the episode with double-digit questions and no answers.
Yeah.
Which means we gotta watch another one.
Absolutely, and I'm not opposed to that. Hit us up with your comments. Adam wants to say bye already. Hit us up with your comments. Remember, if they have spoilers, hold back and keep me guessing, because I can wait. But as always, we would be so excited if you would like this video, subscribe to my channel, and stay tuned for more Demon Slayer next week. Thanks, guys.